Hey everyone, Hakayas here. Today I'm going to show you how to defeat the 3 story boss fights that occur immediately after each other toward the end of Riku's story. I wasn't originally planning to do a video on any of the story bosses, but the 3rd fight in this sequence gave me so much trouble that I decided I might as well put all that effort to use. I've got enough footage to give you some quick tips for the first 2 fights as well. Obviously, as these are story bosses, what follows could be considered spoilers, so if you don't want to know what happens next, stop the video now and come back later when you get to them. Trust me, you will know them when you see them. The following information pertains to the boss fights as they are on Proud difficulty, but probably applies to all the other difficulties as well. As far as the command deck goes, I recommend you fill 3 command slots with Curaga or some other heal, 2 slots with Dark Splicer because it takes 2 slots to equip, and then as many Balloonga and Balloonra spells as you can fit. For me, that was 3. I had 1 Balloonga and 2 Balloonras. For support abilities, I highly recommend you get as many dark screens as you can, and as always, once more and second chance are very useful. Though I didn't do it, you may wish to unequip Shadow Slide. The 3rd boss has several attacks that can't hurt you if you don't move, but look like other attacks which must be blocked to avoid damage. If you block at the wrong time on one of the attacks from the first group, it may cause you to take damage or even die with Shadow Slide equipped. Finally, I didn't have them when I beat him the first time, but you can purchase Dark Roll and Dark Barrier from the Flick Rush shop. Dark Barrier in particular makes this fight much easier.
Is that Sora?
So let's get started. The first fight is against Anti-Black Coat Nightmare, and he can give you a lot of trouble. But I think I found his weakness. Just don't close to fight him with your Keyblade very often. Stay back and use lots of dodge rolls, and you'll be able to avoid his attacks. Then you can cast your balloon spells whenever you have a free moment. Try not to use Dark Splicer in this fight, because it does bring you close to him, and it takes Riku out of your control for a few seconds, so he might do a few attacks that will kill you before you actually can regain control. If you stay away, and you just cast your balloon spells and Curagas, and you make sure to dodge as many attacks as possible, you should be able to defeat him relatively quickly and easily. After you defeat Anti-Black Coat, Ansem shows up, and you'll have to fight him and his guardian. A lot of the attacks they're going to perform are going to look pretty familiar to someone who played Kingdom Hearts and remembers what it was like to fight him and his guardian as Sora by yourself at the end of that game. The first phase of this fight is fought while floating in the darkness. Since you're floating, you don't have access to your Dream Eater allies, and you can't block or dodge roll. You want to do the same thing here that you did against the Anti-Black Coat. Back off, dodge attacks whenever possible, and cast balloon spells and Curaga until he loses a couple bars of health. At this point, he will become available to do a Reality Link attack on. Do that successfully, and suddenly you will be standing on a platform. He'll do all the same attacks he's been doing, but now that he's not floating, you can actually disrupt their attacks, which makes this a lot easier. You can also dodge roll and block or use Dark Barrier now, and your Dream Eaters are available for linking with or doing whatever it is your Dream Eaters were doing whenever they were there before. All of that means that if you can get Ansem out of phase 1 and onto this platform, the fight is pretty much a pushover, because all of your balloon spells are just going to keep him disrupted and unable to attack you. Once you defeat him there, you are transported to a long hallway with pillars on either side, reminiscent of those found in the manifestation of Kingdom Hearts from the first game. Ansem is now inside of a hamster ball that his guardian has grown. Let's quickly go over the attacks he uses in this fight. Octolaser, a laser attack that causes a tight grouping of 8 lasers to fire at Riku's current location. This can be easily blocked. Circle Laser. Ansem will fire 2 groups of 3 lasers that will each attempt to circle Riku in opposite directions. If you stand in one place, they can't hit you. Scatter Shot. Ansem will launch a volley of glowing white energy balls at you in a spread pattern. This can usually be blocked. Usually becomes always if you have Dark Barrier equipped. Scattershot Circle. Ansem launches a volley similar to Scattershot, but like Circle Laser, the energy balls all land in a circular pattern around Riku, as long as he doesn't move. Manta Ray Swarm. Usually precluded by Ansem floating backwards a ways, but not always, this attack fires a volley of half-moon energy projectiles in a pattern slightly above the ground. The catch is that they sweep upwards as they reach Riku. This cannot be blocked by a normal block, but it can be dodged if you run away from Ansem for a moment, then turn, jump, and air slide back at him. Dark Barrier will block them just fine. And Ground Pound. If you get too close to Ansem, the Guardian may forgo the projectile attacks and attempt to just punch Riku into a pancake. You can air slide away from this, or block it to stun him momentarily. Ansem will use all of those attacks throughout the fight. Every once in a while, he'll also stop to taunt you about the darkness. For the most part, you want to just stand back and cast balloon spells whenever he taunts or immediately after he uses one of his abilities, as he'll be unable to hurt you until you have control again. Because all of these attacks can be blocked or avoided by standing still, if you die and have to retry, you can just stand where you spawn and wait for your abilities and heals to recharge before starting the fight. However, once you start beating on him, he will eventually start to use his Dark Wind attack. Everything will go dark, and his Guardian will sweep its wings forward and send Riku and the Dream Eaters to the other end of the hall. Always take the time to heal yourself to fall as you're sliding backwards. He has two different follow-ups. The easier one, which is the first one you're going to see no matter what, is when he spawns two large dark orbs to either side of himself. This is where the Dark Splicer comes into play. If you can cast it before the orbs spawn, you're in the clear. If you don't quite manage to get Dark Splicer off immediately for whatever reason, do a slow 4-second count from the moment you come to a stop, and then hit it. If you use it too soon, the lasers will target you as you are on top of Ansem, and if you wait too long, the lasers will hit you before you teleport. Either way, he's going to probably ground pound you when you get that close, and you're going to die if you've been hit by lasers before that. In any case, immediately heal yourself after Dark Splicer ends. Ansem's next attack will attempt to chain Riku and shove him inside the orbs, where your health will be automatically reduced to 1. The only way I know to avoid this attack is to use Dark Barrier, which blocks the chains quite nicely. If you don't have it, or you miss your block, be sure to queue up a heal while you're watching the attack animation, and use it as soon as you're dropped. Every Dark Wind after the first, he may choose to use the laser orbs again, or to hurl a bunch of pulsing dark orbs at Riku instead. It seems like you're supposed to be able to race to the walls and use flow motion to fly over the orbs, but I was never able to make it that far. Instead, I just dodged them as best I could. Head to the side of the room and they're less likely to hit you. I've read some places that Dark Roll will let you dodge them pretty effectively, though I wasn't able to do so. Once again, however, Dark Barrier can make this part of the fight trivial because it will block them. Just make sure you're timing it as best as possible. If you just spam the block, some of them will probably get through during the breaks between. As the fight continues, he'll add one more kind of attack. He'll use Dark Fountains before Dark Wind. These really hurt and are nearly impossible to avoid, and sometimes I even found myself stuck in place as if I was affected by the bind status. The Darkness Fountains can be blocked, so just hammer block and hit Kiraga as necessary. They don't last forever, and when it ends, he'll use Dark Wind, which will give you an opportunity to heal before dealing with the laser or pulsing rolling orbs. If you're decently leveled, I was at 47 when I did this, he should only get to cast Dark Wind 2 or 3 times. If you can avoid dying to the very deadly follow-ups, the rest of the fight should be relatively easy now that you know what to look for. If you're still having trouble, take a moment, go get Dark Barrier if you haven't, maybe level up a couple times, make sure to use some link points on your pets to add more passive abilities to help you out, and try again. Eventually, you will be able to kill Ansem and progress to the end of the game. If you found this video helpful, follow the links to see what other trophies I can help you earn. If I don't have the video you need yet, go ahead and leave me a comment telling me what I'm missing, then hit subscribe so you'll know when it's released. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.